my friends from the internet. I'm gonna tell you a story. Just like the last one, it happened about 25 years ago, but it happened to me a few times after. But that's a story for another time. Um, it won't be a surprise to you if I tell you I've fucking been in prison for a few times. Drugs, alcohol, fighting. I was not a good guy. Come on. You know, I bettered my life now, but I never was a good guy. I was a fighter. I was a long haired thug who would do anything he liked. You know, was just frolic through the park. You know, I shit on every opportunity, every everything. I didn't care. You know, you know. You look like this. You're big. You're strong. You shit on everyone. So basically, I was a bad guy. So once I went to prison in my own hometown for a change. Mostly they lock you up 200-300 miles away. But this time I was lucky. I was in my own hometown for 2 3 months. And this prison in my town, in that time, doesn't exist anymore. It's now a library. Was 300-400 years old. You lived like in a cage. It was horrible. They came around with a piss pot when you had to pee. You didn't have a toilet, nothing. Well, okay, I managed and I survived. I didn't fucking care. Lost my girlfriend, lost my child. So who fucking cares? I did. And when I got released, everybody in town knew. In front of that prison, there were the most ugly, fucking bad shit prostitutes. But hey, you've been in prison for a few months. You're in desperate need of a fuck. No. I came out 6 o'clock in the morning. They released me at 6 o'clock in the morning. And there was this girl called Yvonne, a black girl from Suriname. She was a pretty well-known prostitute in the city. And she said, hey, you wanna fuck? Cost you 50 gills. I said, sure. Of course. If you get out of prison in the Netherlands, you get a small fee, to get back at home. First 2 3 days. So I had 50 guilders in my pockets. I said, are you sure? And halfway, we went to an ATM. And I pinned another 250 guilders. You mind if I want to buy some Coke? Sure, whatever you want. So we bought $200 worth of Coke. Thought, well, it's my release, my release date, so who fucking cares, I don't care. I break the law when I can. I don't follow the rules. So she went home with me. I had a beautiful flat, beautiful apartment. And, well, of course, we did have sex first. And she said, you mind if I use your living room to smoke some crack? I said, well, no, but I pay for it, so half is mine. And, of course, I didn't trust her. She was a well-known hooker who robbed people. So, everything was in my wallet. I threw over the couch, behind the couch. That's not, well, she can't find it anymore. So we smoked, and we went to bed. We had sex again. She was fucking hot. She was 15 years older than me at the time. But she was a very beautiful woman. And like I said in my last video, I love black women. And she was a gorgeous black woman. Even at 37, when I was 25, she was beautiful. She was a legend in the city as a prostitute. I always saw her on a bike, Yeah, it's just the Netherlands, So prostitutes on a bike. No surprise. But okay, what happened? I was knocked out, because of the sex, the drugs. And the next day I stood up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. My first day of freedom. So I looked at behind the couch, My wallet was still there. So I took up my wallet. But the money was gone. There was $150 in there. I said, fucking goddamn. That stupid whore robbed me. So I went into town, to look her up. But she was never, ever to be found over there, So I went home after a few hours. And it was 8, 9 o'clock in the evening. My doorbell rang. And there she was. She said, yeah, I've got no place to go. I've got some coke. Can I smoke in here? I said, sure, come in. The first thing I did was smack her in the face. I said, fucking you stole my fucking money. Where's my money? She said, well, I'm so sorry, but this coke, it's yours and mine. It's okay. That's a little bit of payoff, but you're fucking never gonna steal my money again. And she promised not to. So, then we smoked a lot of coke again. Well, it's 25 years ago, I quit drugs 20 years ago, 15 years ago, maybe something like that. But in those days, as a musician, it was inevitable. It was inevitable, But okay, what happened? The next couple of months, she kind of lived with me. We never agreed to be a girlfriend or boyfriend or something. I wasn't a pimp, but sometimes I kicked her out of the door. Said, "Well, you gotta make some money. I want to smoke." Yeah. A few weeks ago, she was 13 years older than me. She died of COVID. I was surprised she didn't die of AIDS. She never used a condom or contraceptives or anything else. So she had a real good time. She was 67 and she was still working as a prostitute. And she was so successful. One of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. But also, she had faulties, stealing, robbing. Uh, I can remember when she used to go out at night at 12 o'clock. And she said, "Well, I'm gonna have some sex with taxi drivers. So I have coke." She was something else. I miss her. You know, she could have been a perfect mother, a perfect wife. Just drugs changed her life. I I quit drugs about 15 in 2006. Yeah, that's 15 years ago. Never touched a joint, coke, heroin. Never again. But she couldn't. And I feel so sorry for her. She could have been 79 in 12 years' time. You know, she was a good human being. But she was funny as hell and a good fuck. Yeah, you know, realize when you meet people like her, you know, they're not trash. They're not trash. Everybody thinks they're trash. I could have easily been trash, but I got hundreds of thousands of dollars in my name and in my account. Nobody blames me for taking drugs. Nobody blames me for doing wrong thing. Even if I'm in prison, and it happened to me 9 times, who fucking cares? You know, if you got the money, if you got the time, who fucking cares? It's biased on race. It's biased on income. It's biased on everything. Who fucking cares if you use drugs, if you're rich? Huh? Look at Donald Trump. He's an Adderall addict all his life. He even shown his cabinet full of prescription drugs. I've got prescription drugs. I got Xanax. I got Lydium. Seresta Forte. Who fucking does anything? Nobody. They, they don't fucking care about white people on drugs. And I didn't have the white man's court system working for me because I tell them things like this. You know, how corrupt, how sick the system is. You know, I don't fucking care. I've been in jail this year for 8 months for threatening my brother. Yeah, but that's a story for another time. People, be aware of everything, what's happening around you. I'll tell you one thing, what is happening needs to be adjusted and spoken of. I don't care which problem you see, but if there's a problem, you should speak out, you know. If you see racism, if you see uh, bullying, I don't care, you know. Find your source of irritation. People mishandling dogs, children, cats, I don't care, you know. Even if it's a small bird, but you gotta speak your mind, you know. As long as we keep silent, nothing ever is gonna change. Nothing is ever gonna change. We are the future. That's what we have to learn our children. We are the future. 4 words. Tell your children not to be the bad people we are. We are the worst generation in 2000 years. You know why? We all had all the advantages, but now the new generation kicks in. We try to get all the advantages away from them. Yeah? Well, this was long enough. I love to hear your comments to what I said, you know. I love you all, guys. I'm going to do this 2 or 3 times a day, tell you all my stories and all about my upcoming books, my upcoming new records. I love you guys. Bye bye.